Hi guys, today I want to speak about fats because every time it seems like every time we speak about fats, cholesterol, a lot of times we still struggle with the idea of fats, and of course our friends struggle with the ideas of fat without understanding fats, in depth. Now, if we really were to examine fat as a compound, fat in itself is made up of hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon, right? Now, when you use up fats in your body, fats get passed out as carbon dioxide. It turns into carbon dioxide and it gets breathed out, most of it. And the amazing thing is, if you were to go on a high-fat diet, later on you'll discover that, hey, we actually poo less. Now again, this creates all these kind of crazy ideas that, we're getting constipated and stuff like that. We're not getting constipated. We don't get bloating. Your stomach, is nice, lean and slim, no air, no gas inside there. So fats, if you were to examine it, is one of the most undense or least dense compound in the whole world. Taking water as, let's say, the median, and then you put anything into water, a lot of the stuff actually sinks. Be it protein will sink. You put rice in there, it will sink. You put sugar in there, it will sink. Right? So carbs, sugar, protein, they all sink. Right? Meat, they'll sink inside water. But if you put fats, that means 100% fats in water, it will float. It is least dense than water. And if you look at that alone, most of us should be able to look at that and say, hey, fat is one of the least dense compound. Yet it gives us so much energy. If you were to take pure fats, 100% saturated fats, like coconut oil or animal fats, right? The fats that you have rendered from lard, for example, and you heat it over a stove, eventually you will lose all of it. Why? It gets burned up and used and turns into gas. But if you were to take sugar and burn it inside on a saucepan or in a bowl, and you are left with this black gooey sticky stuff. Imagine that being inside your arteries. Imagine that being inside your body. Okay, sugar burns off and you're left with that black gooey stuff. Protein, same thing. So as much as you heat protein or a piece of meat, so even as you burn it off completely, you will find a piece of dry, hard, black meat. So the only thing that gets burned up into nothing is fats, right? Now let's talk about pure fats again. When you go to the toilet, when you go and pee, and a lot of times you will see a layer of oil on top. Your body passes it out because, as I've mentioned, it easily passes through your system. It either get used up or it pass out through your system. Whether you pee, you poo, or you perspire. That's why sometimes when you perspire, you get that oil on your face and all that stuff. Even salt comes out, with your perspiration. So if you look at that, ultimately at the end of the day, the idea that fats is bad for you, every once so often, we'll always have somebody who will say, people say fats are really bad for me. And then after that, we go back into this, thing and say, we're so worried, what should I answer? That's why it's important for you to do your research and understand the science. Why today you have all these experts like Professor Tim Noakes. Professor Tim Noakes was taken to task. He was sued, but they lost, right? In South Africa, Professor Tim Noakes, people like Dr. Jason Fung, Dr. Andreas Einfeld keep promoting a high-fat diet. If fats is bad for us, they would stop. But again, it's been proven that fats don't do us any harm at all. Our body every nervous system, our hormones, our testosterone is 100% made of cholesterol. Our brain is made of fats. Yet, we talk about fats like, it's so bad, then remove our brain. Our brain is made of fats. Our liver produces 3 kilograms of cholesterol every day. That is 90 kilograms of cholesterol, literally a month. Now, that can't be bad for you. Why is your body making those cholesterol? Because your body needs it. Every cell in your body needs cholesterol. It needs cholesterol to heal, to mend, to build new cells, and so on and so forth. Without cholesterol, we'll die. I want cholesterol. Give me more cholesterol. I want cholesterol. I love cholesterol. So every time you go and see a doctor and you do a blood test, I can't even be bothered. As I've said, I've not done a blood test. But if you go and do a blood test, I know the result. Especially in the beginning, you will have much higher cholesterol. Your triglyceride levels will be much higher. Why? Bear in mind that cholesterol, the presence of more cholesterol is a signal that something is wrong in your body. Not because of cholesterol. Because your cholesterols are produced at higher levels to fix something. So as time goes by, your bodily damage is slowly being repaired. Cholesterol will start to drop. It will start to reduce to a level that is just good for maintenance, not necessarily for massive repair. So do understand that this is how it works. You will have more cholesterol when you have more damage. For example, if you have damage to your arteries caused by carbs, sugar, and vegetable oils that cause all this inflammation, and when it inflame, it becomes very tender, right? Everything that's inflamed, it stretches the artery walls. Then it becomes very tender. Then as you eat your carbs and sugar and all this stuff, remember what I shared earlier, they don't get burned off cleanly. They pass through your artery walls, and they are constantly scratching your artery walls, causing lots of damage. And because of that, your body now will produce more cholesterol because it needs to go to your artery walls to patch those damage, to heal those cells, and to create a film around your artery walls so that it doesn't become brittle and it doesn't break. But once you stop taking the carbs and the sugar, you may find initially your cholesterol level is high because it is doing a lot of repairs and stuff like this. But once that is over, your cholesterol level or your total triglycerides will drop. So cholesterol, you have the HDL, you have the LDL, and you have the LDL particle A, you have the B. The B one is the tiny ones, and even that is not bad, And scientifically, you can't have any bad LDL by eating good fats, okay? So these so-called small LDLs are the ones that may get trapped between the damage, the scratch, the wound of your artery walls, because they are very small. But the big ones, they don't. Nowadays you have a lot more young people, and I know what's happening. 40 years old, 30 something years old, they lead very healthy lives, they seem very fit, they have six packs, they go to the gym, they take a low fat diet, they do carb loads, they drink loads of Gatorade. When I see a person like this if I know somebody who is living a life like that, I'll tell them to stop, because they are putting their heart at risk. They potentially are the people with the highest rate of heart attacks for young people. Why? Because remember what I said just now, your artery walls are damaged, and then on top of that, you're eating a low-fat diet. You don't get enough cholesterol to protect your arteries, and then on top of that, these people are doing a lot of exercise. I've already known a few people, quite a number of people who are in their 30s and 40s who just collapse while at the gym while cycling, while doing all these exercises. Okay, so I hope you all understand, and I hope once and for all that there's no more mention about cholesterol being bad, because cholesterol is good. Cholesterol, God created us in that way. Everything in our body requires cholesterol. Serene is a good example. I shared her experience. She, went on a treadmill, and the doctor said if nothing happens, you're gonna live forever. You're gonna live very, very long. Even though she has high cholesterol. And if you eat a ketogenic diet, you'll discover along the way that all your other measurements will be very, very good, except that your cholesterol will be high. Now, any doctor will look at that and say, hey, you have high cholesterol, and at the same time it coincides with good health in all other areas of your body. They should understand that. But they don't, because they have been taught cholesterol is bad in school. They've been taught that same nonsensical stuff that was based on a fraudulent study, a hypothesis by Ansel Keys, and he dropped 16 countries, and he kept data of 6 countries. 16 countries went against his hypothesis. 6 countries supported his hypothesis, and then he posted that result, and then the whole world went on this, eat low fat, low salt. So, and by the way, eat more salt, okay? Salt is good for you, Himalayan salt. Thank you very much.